Have you ever stopped to think that some seemingly harmless objects in your home could be draining your energy without you realizing it? What if these items were also sowing discord in your home, or, worse yet, attracting dark forces that affect your life in subtle but profound ways? What you see as a simple decorative piece, or a gift kindly given by a friend, could be negatively influencing your life more than you ever imagined. Now, imagine if I revealed to you that some of these objects were identified by none other than Padre Pio, one of the Catholic Church's most revered saints, as items that should be removed from your home immediately. Are you curious? You should. At this time, type the following in the comments: Padre Pio, eliminate all negativity from my life. Padre Pio, known for his deep spirituality and extraordinary gifts, was not just an ordinary man. He possessed a unique connection to the divine and was widely respected for his spiritual insights and guidance. In his visions, Padre Pio identified certain objects as true gateways to evil influences in our lives. He understood like no one else the dangers these items posed, and often warned his followers to get rid of them in order to protect the harmony of their homes. These objects are not just myths or baseless superstitions. They are rooted in centuries of spiritual belief and testimonies of real experiences. What you are about to discover in this video is not just a list of items, but a path to ridding your home of evil influences that may be hiding right before your eyes. We are talking about 7 specific objects that, if present in your home, could be disturbing the peace, causing emotional imbalances, and opening doors to negative energies that affect your daily life. It is crucial that you know that we are not dealing with mere folk stories, but with valuable spiritual teachings passed down through generations. Padre Pio, with his gift of spiritual discernment, knew that these items not only attract negative forces, but also have the potential to impede divine grace from working in our homes. He often said that these objects could block the blessings God wants to bestow upon us, creating an environment ripe for evil. Imagine what it would be like to discover that something in your own home is blocking the blessings you so desperately seek, that something you may have purchased as an exotic souvenir or received as an innocent gift is actually undermining your happiness, your health, and even your relationships. This is something that no one wants, but that many, unknowingly, are allowing to happen. In this video, we will uncover these 7 demonic items that Padre Pio identified as dangerous. You will learn not only how to identify them, but also how to get rid of them effectively, restoring the harmony and peace you desire in your home. This is an opportunity for you to completely transform the environment in which you live, removing any type of evil that may be disturbing your life. First, item: relics, pagans, and idols. Did you know that statues and objects linked to ancient pagan religions can be a gateway to evil influences? These relics, often sold as exotic souvenirs or pieces of art, can carry negative energies or even spirits. Padre Pio often warned his followers about the danger of keeping such items at home, as they could bring with them the presence of demonic entities that could disturb the peace of your residence. Life example. A family who kept an African tribal mask in their living room began to experience a series of inexplicable events, from sleepless nights to constant disagreements. When they removed the mask and prayed to cleanse the house, they noticed an immediate improvement in the atmosphere in the home. Listen to this message that Padre Pio left before he died. The world is facing great problems, and you cannot live for long without divine protection. You need to pray every day, otherwise your life will be at great risk. If you want protection for your life, you must download my ebook, The Power of Padre Pio. This ebook contains prayers for all moments. If you want to live a life of divine protection, click on the link in the first pinned comment and download right now The Power of Padre Pio. Second item, occult object. Have you ever wondered about the risks that occult items such as tarot cards, Ouija boards, or crystals used in magical rituals can pose in your home? Although many consider them harmless or merely symbolic, Padre Pio warned us about the real danger that these objects bring. These items are not just tools for esoteric practices, they can serve as true portals for evil forces. Padre Pio, with his spiritual wisdom, knew that these objects have the potential to attract demonic entities, creating an atmosphere of disturbance and discomfort in any environment where they are present. Even if the intention is for curiosity or entertainment, the presence of these items in your home can trigger a series of negative events that you may not be able to control. Life example. Consider the case of a young woman who began using a Ouija board to play with her friends. Shortly thereafter, she began to experience terrifying nightmares and a constant feeling of fear. Only by getting rid of the board and seeking spiritual help was she able to regain her peace. Reflect. Are you also allowing something like this to disturb the serenity of your home? Third item. Books of magic and esotericism. Have you ever acquired or been gifted with books that deal with magic, esotericism, or mysterious cults? Maybe you bought them out of mere curiosity, or even for study. However, what many don't realize is that these books, even when they are not opened, can be a source of negative energy in your home. Padre Pio, with his keen spiritual discernment, was clear in his warnings. These works, when kept at home, can attract evil spirits that feed on human curiosity for the occult. These books, often wrapped in a cloak of mystery and seduction, promise to reveal unknown secrets and powers. But instead of bringing enlightenment, they can open doors to dark influences that disturb the peace of your home. Even if you've never read a single page, the simple act of keeping these works in your home can be enough to invite unwanted presences. Would you be willing to risk your peace of mind for a book that, at best, is nothing more than a curiosity? Life example. Consider the story of a woman who collected old books about magic. Initially, she saw them as valuable and interesting pieces, but over time, she began to notice a change in the atmosphere of her home. The environment became dark, oppressive, and his own energy began to wane. Sensing something was wrong, she sought advice from a priest, who recommended that she get rid of all the books. Almost immediately after removing these works, she noticed a significant change. The house seemed brighter, and her mind, previously filled with dark thoughts, found peace again. Reflect. Are you inadvertently allowing something similar to happen in your home? Sometimes curiosity can come at too high a price. Fourth item, profane art and sculptures. Have you ever considered the spiritual impact of the works of art you choose to decorate your home? We often choose paintings, sculptures, or other artistic pieces based solely on aesthetics or popularity, without realizing what these works really represent. Works of art that glorify violence, rampant immorality, or profane themes can be more than just controversial. They can be extremely dangerous to the spiritual environment of your home. Padre Pio, with his profound spiritual wisdom, warned that these pieces not only violate the purity and sanctity that we must cultivate, but they also have the potential to attract evil spirits that feed on these disturbing energies. By bringing these works into your home, you may be inadvertently opening a door to negative influences, allowing dark forces to take hold in your life. What may seem like just a modern or bold artistic expression can actually be charged with energies that disrupt the harmony and peace we all desire in our homes. Is it worth taking this risk? Padre Pio always taught that art should elevate the spirit, inspire virtues, and promote kindness. When we choose pieces that glorify the opposite, we are, consciously or not, allowing these negative energies to permeate our most intimate spaces. Life example. Think about the story of a couple who decided to decorate their home with modern art, choosing pieces that they found provocative and interesting. Among them were paintings with disturbing images which reflected violence and despair. At first, they didn't realize the subtle effects these works were having. However, over time, they began to notice changes in their lives, constant and seemingly reasonless arguments, a feeling of uneasiness that never went away, and a growing emotional tension that affected every aspect of their routine. The house, which was once a haven of peace, became a place of conflict and discomfort. Desperate to restore harmony, the couple decided to replace these works with sacred images and religious symbols. Almost immediately, they noticed a change. Arguments became less frequent, and the atmosphere at home began to lighten. Replacing the disturbing pieces of art with works that reflected peace and spirituality helped bring back the serenity and unity they so desired. Reflect. Do you have works of art in your home that, instead of elevating your spirit, are feeding negative energies? Choosing how to decorate your space goes beyond personal taste. It can have a direct impact on the energy and peace of your home. By replacing pieces that celebrate violence, profanity, or unbridled sexuality with images that promote purity, beauty, and kindness, you may be doing more than simply redecorating. You may be closing a door to evil and opening one to blessings. Don't underestimate the power of art to influence your environment and your life. Fifth item: songs and films with negative themes. Have you ever stopped to think that what you listen to and watch could be influencing the spiritual energy of your home? The music that plays in your ears and the movies you choose to watch are not just forms of entertainment. They have the power to shape the environment in which you live, directly impacting your inner peace and the atmosphere of your home. Music with negative, aggressive, or satanic lyrics, as well as horror films that glorify evil, may be creating a heavy and oppressive atmosphere around you without you realizing it. Padre Pio, with his keen spiritual vision, always guided his followers to be careful about what they allowed into their homes, whether through their eyes or ears, to avoid the presence of destructive and disturbing forces. The words and images you consume are more than just momentary entertainment. They carry energies that can infiltrate your home, affecting the harmony and tranquility of your sacred space. When you listen to music that celebrates violence, sadness, or rebellion against goodness, or when you watch movies that promote fear, despair, and chaos, you are actually allowing these energies to enter your life. And once they become established, they can be difficult to remove, manifesting in subtle ways, such as increased anxiety, irritability, discouragement, or even conflicts within the home. Life example: imagine the story of a young man who, fascinated by horror films, made a point of watching all the latest releases in the genre. Initially, he saw it as just innocent fun. However, over time, he began to notice changes in his behavior and state of mind. The anxiety that was once occasional became constant, accompanied by a feeling of fear that followed him even throughout the day. Furthermore, his home, which used to be a place of comfort, began to seem strange and unsettling. It was only when he decided to stop watching these films and replace his entertainment time with more uplifting programs that he began to notice a significant change. Gradually, his anxiety subsided, fear disappeared, and inner peace was restored. Reflect. Could what you are listening or watching be negatively affecting your life and home? Your choice of entertainment may seem harmless, but it has a real impact on your spiritual energy and the atmosphere in your home. Just as we watch what we eat to keep our bodies healthy, we must also be selective with what feeds our mind and spirit. Replacing negative music and movies with those that promote joy, hope, and virtue can transform your life. Padre Pio knew that maintaining a spiritually healthy home requires careful attention to what we allow into our lives. By choosing wisely what you listen to and watch, you can protect your space from negative influences and create an environment of peace, light, and harmony. Be mindful of your choices and allow your home to be a haven of serenity and spiritual protection. Sixth item: gifts from negative people. Have you ever wondered about the energy that can be imbued in a gift received from someone who doesn't wish you well? Sometimes we receive objects that, at first glance, seem harmless and even valuable, but which carry hidden intentions. Padre Pio, with his deep understanding of spiritual forces, warned his followers about the dangers of accepting and keeping items that may have been given with bad intentions. He knew that even if the gift seems innocent, it can be charged with negative energies, such as envy, malice, or hatred, that can impact your life in subtle but powerful ways. When you receive a gift from someone who you know carries negative energy or who you suspect doesn't have the best intentions, it's important to consider more than just the object's material value. This gift can actually be a conduit for negative influences to enter your life, affecting your health, your luck, and even your relationships. Negative energies projected by the giver can permeate the gift, making it a vehicle for these disturbing forces. Padre Pio believed that these objects could even serve as an entry point for demonic influences into his home and life. Life example: consider the case of a woman who received a beautiful necklace from a friend who, over the years, demonstrated envious and competitive behavior. At first, the woman was delighted with the gift and started to use it frequently. However, soon after, she began to notice a series of negative changes in her life. Her once robust health began to decline without explanation, and her luck, which had always accompanied her, seemed to have disappeared. Little accidents, misunderstandings, and financial problems began to arise, and she couldn't understand why. It was only when she reflected on the origin of the necklace and the intention behind the gift that she realized the negative impact it could be having. Upon discarding the necklace and praying for protection, the woman experienced an almost immediate change. Her health began to improve, and the streak of bad luck finally ended. This experience taught her to be more careful and to pay attention not only to what she received, but also to the origin and intentions of those who gave her gifts. Reflect. Are you keeping objects in your home that, although they seem harmless, are actually loaded with negative energy? It is essential to be aware of the origin of the items you accept and keep, especially if you have ever had reason to doubt the donor's intentions. Padre Pio teaches us that it is better to get rid of an object that may be causing harm than to allow it to continue to negatively impact your life. By removing these objects and seeking spiritual protection, you can restore peace and harmony to your life, preventing these negative energies from continuing to influence you. After all, your home should be a place of serenity, protected from any external malice. Seventh and last item: amulets and talismans. Last but by no means least, we have amulets and talismans, objects that are often kept with the hope of bringing protection or good luck, but which in reality can be a significant source of negative energy. Many people believe that by carrying or holding these objects, they are ensuring safety or positively influencing their lives. However, Padre Pio, with his profound spiritual wisdom, was categorical in condemning the use of amulets and talismans, especially those created with the intention of manipulating or controlling spiritual forces. He knew that these objects, instead of attracting blessings, often opened doors to demonic influences and generated more harm than good. The idea that an object can, in itself, bring luck or protection is a belief that has roots in ancient practices and often in belief systems at odds with Christian faith. Padre Pio warned that these amulets not only diverted people from the true source of protection, faith in God, but also had the potential to attract negative spiritual forces. By placing your trust in an object rather than God, you risk opening your life to influences that can bring chaos, bad luck, and even spiritual danger. Life example. Consider the story of a man who, in search of protection, acquired an amulet that was supposed to ward off evil and bring luck. However, instead of experiencing improvements in his life, he began to notice that things were getting worse. Little misfortunes began to pile up, creating a cycle of bad luck and frustration that seemed inescapable. No matter how hard he tried, his circumstances continued to worsen, and he felt increasingly trapped in a spiral of negativity. It was only when he reflected on the amulet and the beliefs associated with it that he decided to discard the object and seek spiritual help. He turned to prayer and asked for divine protection, fully trusting God to guide and protect him. Almost immediately after abandoning the amulet, he noticed a positive change in his life. The bad luck that had been following him began to disappear, and he finally felt like his life was getting back on track. This experience taught him to place his faith in God rather than material objects. Reflect. Do you have in your possession any amulet or talisman in which you place your trust? Padre Pio reminds us that true protection comes from God, and that material objects, especially those created to manipulate or influence spiritual forces, can do more harm than good. By relying on amulets, you may be inadvertently opening doors to negative influences that affect your life in ways you don't realize. By getting rid of these objects and trusting in divine protection, you can experience a true transformation in your life. Remember that your faith and your connection with God are the greatest sources of protection and blessing you can have. Do not allow amulets or talismans to take the place of true faith in your life. Make choices that bring light and peace to your home and soul. Now that you have been introduced to these 7 demonic items that Padre Pio identified as dangerous to the peace and harmony of your home, the decision is in your hands. Padre Pio always taught that keeping these objects in your home is allowing negative forces to continue to act in your life. So, are you ready to act and take steps to purify your space, or will you continue to allow these disturbing influences to linger around you? Padre Pio believed that choosing faith and purity of heart is the first line of defense against evil, and now you have the opportunity to follow his teachings. Padre Pio did not see these objects as simple superstitions, but as real doors to spiritual forces that could destabilize his home. Padre Pio always emphasized that by removing these items and seeking spiritual protection, you can completely transform the atmosphere of your home. Padre Pio believed that it is through faith and conscious action that we can restore the harmony and peace that we all desire in our homes. By following Padre Pio's advice, you are not only protecting your home, but also strengthening your connection with the divine. Remember that, according to Padre Pio, faith is not passive. Padre Pio taught that it was necessary to act, remove negative influences, and make space for God's light and grace to enter your life. Padre Pio always emphasized the importance of being mindful of what we allow into our homes, and now you have the chance to apply these teachings and see the change they can bring. If this content was useful to you, do as Padre Pio would always recommend. Share this valuable information with those you love. Padre Pio believed in the power of community and the importance of helping others find peace and spiritual protection. So subscribe to the channel, share this video among your friends and family, and leave your comments below. Padre Pio knew that the first step to spiritual transformation is sharing knowledge and helping others see the truth. Finally, remember that, as Padre Pio always taught, your home should be a sanctuary of peace and holiness. Padre Pio believed that it is through purification and faith that we can create an environment where God's blessings flow freely. So, don't postpone this decision. Start today the transformation that Padre Pio knew was possible. Padre Pio was right when he said that true peace begins in our homes, and it is up to you to take the first step to ensure that peace prevails.